I did something that I cannot recommend enough to every single person listening to this show, and I believe it's the perfect movie.
Okay.
I went to see Interstellar in IMAX.
Oh, dude, yes, 100% agree.
I like the more, and that was the fourth or fifth time I've seen Interstellar.
Yeah, but now you see things different.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, every time you watch that movie, I want to almost go see it again because to see it in IMAX is just visually stunning, and I love the score to that. I'm a big fan of Christopher Nolan's scores like Tenet and Inception and things like that. But the Dark Knight trilogy, I'm a huge Christopher Nolan fan.
Me too.
And I've said many times amongst friends and you that my favorite movie of all time was Inception. I love the movie Inception, but I don't know, man. Interstellar hit for me in a way that like it was me and my son Gavin and my wife, and Tanya is like, oh, I like this movie, it's good, and blah blah blah. Gavin and I are crying.
Yeah,
like the entire movie.
Same. Yeah, that movie makes me super emotional. Also, and it's because. Yeah, that movie is absolutely amazing. And to think that if that is what the journey of death is, I'm all in 100%.
Oh, yeah.
You know, just leaving this place, but still being able to communicate with those you've left behind, quote unquote, and not knowing what is next, but we all go back to that same black hole that we came from. Yeah. It's just amazing.
When I left the theater, I was like, okay. I was like, in my mind, I'm like, maybe that's better than Inception to me. Like, maybe that is my favorite movie of all time. And as I've again, not the first time I saw it, because actually the first time I saw Interstellar, I was like, yeah, it was all right.
Yeah, same.
And then the second time I saw it, I was like, that was pretty good. And now by the fourth or fifth time, I'm like, that may be the perfect movie. And I say the perfect movie is, guys, because it's a blend. It still has action. You know what I mean? It still has space travel. But just when you start to really think about the things that separate, because it kind of ties into what we've talked about today. Yeah, heavily. And it's like he was on the entire time. It was him on the other side of the bookcase. Yep. And it's just like wow, like it's a love story. Like there's love in it, but it's also this like really cool concept around time and all of that. But then I'm just like, that may be the perfect movie. But it may and you may be listening to this right now going, that's not the perfect movie. Wicked is.
Yeah, you don't know anything.
But it's like Interstellar is it is, I think, the perfect movie.
Because it taps into what you said earlier, and that is the one thing that echoes through religion and spirituality is unconditional love.
Yes.
And when you tap into that unconditional love, it is something that it ripples through the quantum mechanics. It ripples vibrationally through the universe. And it is something that can be felt by everything that it touches.
Did you ever watch True Detective?
Yes.
Okay. So I had never seen True Detective. And I just, 2 nights ago, I'm on a Matthew McConaughey kick.
Yeah.
I may want to
He's amazing.
I may want to be Matthew McConaughey when I grow up.
Right?
I love that dude.
Oh, he's the best.
But watching we watched the first few episodes of True Detective, and then Thursday night we binged the last 4 episodes. I wasn't intending to because that's not my thing, but I just couldn't get enough of that show. But the way that season ends, season 1 of True Detective, where Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey are outside the hospital and they're talking, and the last line of that show is like him, for all his pushing back on things and his like coarse attitude through it, is like Woody Harrelson says, "Yeah, man, there's darkness and the stars everywhere," and he's crying about. He almost dies, and he like saw his father and he saw his daughter, and he talked about love and how love and he's like, nah, man, I think the light is winning. And that was like the last line in the show. And I was like, man, Matthew McConaughey can do no wrong. To go from watching Interstellar and IMAX to now finishing True Detective first season, I was like one, kind of like Matthew McConaughey a whole lot, maybe more than I should admit. But it was just like the profound elements of Interstellar, and to a certain degree the conversations in True Detective, but the profound elements of time and love crossing all of that. I don't know, man, but I was just like, there's so much here.
Yeah, dude, it is quite profound and quite beautiful, and I love the journey that could take you on of thinking, like, just for a second, think, all right, well, if the light is winning, that means that there is some type of battle happening between light and dark, right?
Yeah.
Which, if you want to apply the things that we know about spirituality, there's no battle happening between light and dark. it's constantly in balance with one another. But it is our eyes that we give it that battle. Our perceptions make it a battle between light and dark. When the truth is they need one another just as much as life needs death, and vice versa.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's funny when you were saying that a second ago, I was like, well, yeah, of course there's a spiritual battle, but what if it's just always eternally in balance?
Right, and we're the ones we think there's
we assign
a battle.
meaning to it,
and you know what that battle does? It brings out the qualities of experience that if you were God, you would want to experience in physical form. It brings out the best in the light, and it brings out the best in the dark, and it's all happening at the same time. And if you were God or the universe, you would be suckling every moment because it is all so intense.
I remember reading, I think it was in Conversations with God, something that you said a million times, and it resonates with me, is that, God is just one, or God or the universe is just having an experience through you as a human being, because that force, as great as it is, can't.
Yeah.
So it experiences everything through all of us, through you and me and everybody. And it's like, that to me resonates in such a deep way. It was like, well, then if I was God, I'd want to experience this too. I'd want to experience the bad.
Yeah, of course you would.
Right. And then I take it to a place where I'm just like, well, then one, if everything in Interstellar and everything that I perceive to be honest is true, and I do think it is that when this life, quote unquote, ends, when we die, whatever that is to mean, it's really cool on the other side.
Yeah.
It's really good. So like, you have nothing to fear. Like there's no there's like no element of this that's like, oh, well, that's not a good thing. No, it's great. But then it's like, all right, well, then let's just experience it all and have gratitude for it.
And that's the thing is the gratitude and being in the present moment. Now imagine you get to the end of the game and you die, and God is standing there, the universe is standing there in whatever form you want, and he goes, "That was a good game.
Good game, buddy.
Thank you for allowing me to be more of a part of your game than I normally get to be, because you acknowledged me and we danced."